Statesman Nation. We are sitting down here with head track and field coach Allen Friesen as we prepare for the 2021-2022 track and field season. Coach, you got your first meet coming up this weekend at St. Ambrose. A lot of St. Ambrose meets actually,
right.
In the indoor. Before we get into talking about the schedule and all of our athletes, etc., let's rewind and talk about last year. Opportunity to get some All-Americans again. And then obviously just an overall good year, getting back, positive trend. So
I think it was a good year on both sides. Indoor for the women was probably the best. They 4x4 champions in the conference. They qualified for nationals. Unfortunately, didn't get out of I don't think it was maybe the second round.
Right.
But they ran well. A lot of those girls, it's first time at nationals, and sometimes that's kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
And the way they set it up, the atmosphere hasn't been like it was in the past, all that excitement. So,
right.
But with the COVID stuff, but we did okay. We didn't fare well. We didn't get any All-Americans in indoor last year, which was first in a long time.
Right.
But outdoor bounced back. We did a lot of good things. With conference champions on both the men's and women's side. We All-American qualifiers. We had Finn again, who graduated, qualified in the high jump. Lou, conference champion in the hurdles, ended up fourth place nationally. Jackson didn't have a great outdoor conference, but bounced back and took second place in the NAIA. And then Justin Moeller did well at conference, and I think he ended up finished up 11th. But both of them proved their jumps tremendously. So, it's good. I know there's some debate, I guess, if there is a debate, since we didn't have an outdoor season. I kind of, in my mind, feel like we kept our streak alive for our conference our All-Americans in outdoor, which I guess with this asterisk we have 7 straight now, something like that. So yeah, overall pretty good season. I mean, we didn't do as well as I thought we would in the heart, but we ended up nationally finishing in the top 25, and we were the best team in the heart. So we'll take what we can get, and hang our hat on that and look to improve.
Right. You mentioned talking about especially nationals not having the excitement because of obviously COVID, not having as many fans, etc. The outdoor season ended up being a lot like that, where you had a lot smaller meets, and we hosted 3 different meets last year, which is obviously different. Did that play into anything positively or negatively for the athletes, not competing against, not competing in such big meets as normal?
No, because I think we had a lot of good times at our home meet. So I think it was positive for us. I think it gave our chance for our kids and our fans here at home and the community to be able to get out there and watch us. We had 3 different times. It was a lot of work, but I think the kids enjoyed it. So we're probably not going to do 3 meets again.
Right.
But I think there's more positive than negative hosting those meets. And I mean, once we got to nationals, I guess the standards had lightened up so much that the crowds were a lot better at outdoor at nationals.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's fast forward now. Let's talk about this year's team. Let's break them into their different disciplines, etc. So let's talk about the sprinters first.
Well, that's a great crew right there. Coach Z's done a great job. I mean, last year in the outdoor season, that sprint crew was ranked number 1 in the NAIA. And we had, we qualified 5, maybe 6 for the 100-meter dash. So, that was awesome. So for the sprint crew, the 4x1, they're 4x1 champions. They ended up being, I think, 9th in outdoors, or no, I take that back, 10th. They didn't qualify for the finals, but they were close. But we're getting Joel Brown back. We have Josh Ogden, we have Love, we have Torian Kingston, some newcomers coming in. I think that'll help us. Showalter Johnson, I think will do a great job for us. And on the women's side, we have Alexander Rose is back, Shania Newby's back. Michaela Kelly will be a factor, I think. I know Ashley Oramoji, part of the conference 4x4, she's back and healthy, so we're looking forward to her getting back. And Kamek's part of that 4x4. So yeah, I think we're looking pretty good going into indoor as far as our sprint crew goes.
Definitely. All right, let's switch it up. Middle distance / distance.
I think with the kind of success that our distance crew had in cross country, that looks really, really promising for us this year, especially with some of the new kids coming in. And, you know, Vernon, who qualified, I think leading that crew, I think is really turning around. Axel's going to be good. You know, Isaac Knockel's in that, Jonah Heckenberg. There's some really, you know, Ruben Perez. There's some really good talent in there. And I think they're hungry. I think they realize that they can do, you know, based on what they did in cross country, that they have a chance to move up.
Right, definitely. Hurdles.
Well, what can you say? I mean, we have Lou. I mean, he broke all kinds of records last year for us. You know, he's 14 flat in hurdles and outdoor. He's been a conference champion. Look for him to repeat, to do that. Look for him to probably, you know, break that 14, get in that 13 mark in outdoor. Really great kid, great student. You know, love working with him. Then we have Tom, our TJ, who's really right close behind him. So we could have a really good 1-2 punch in the hurdles.
Sure.
And then of course Katie, all conference last year. She's back. She's strong. She's really hungry. I think she really wants to try to get that qualifying mark in the hurdles.
Yeah, definitely. Switching over to some other, well, now the field events, I guess. Talking about the jumpers first.
Jumper. Well, you know, we have all three. We have most of our jumpers back with Yassine, Justin Moeller, and of course Jackson Coates. They're all three back. All three will play a big part in the conference. We have some new kids, Felipe Cantaluna and Daniel Hartman. I think from Eddyville, I think that he'll factor in there. All very good jumpers. You know, Abigail's back. She was top 5 in the conference in both long and triple, and I think she's stronger this year than she was last year. So I look for her to be an all-conference factor in that.
Sure. And then throwers.
Throwers, well, Justin's back. You know, he was kind of led the conference for a little bit and shot, and then didn't do well at conference, but he's close to qualifying. Of course, we've got Jace, Landon, Jeremiah is able to compete this year, which is really good. And then on women's side, Daniel Gundeling, and we've unfortunately had some injuries, so I'm not sure where our other girl throwers are going to be at coming in. They won't be here at the first indoor meet, but we'll see how the season goes on.
Sure. Let's highlight some of the meets. As aforementioned, we talked about. I don't think I missed any other disciplines, by the way.
No,
I mean pole vault. We sometimes throw some people on pole vault.
But I don't think we have any pole vaulters this year. That seems to be the one discipline that we can't seem to nail down very well. Even though we have a part-time pole vault coach, he has no one to coach. But Bob does a great job when he comes in and helps those kids out. Race walk. I think we'll take a look to see where some of our distance kids are and maybe put them in the race walk.
Sure, very cool. Okay, so you mentioned St. Ambrose is going to be the host site for a good chunk of our indoor season.
First 3 meets, I think, maybe 4.
Right. Let's talk about just the indoor season. You know, some of the highlighted meets.
Well, you know, St. Ambrose, this is always a good meet for us because our kids have been practicing since September.
Right.
So it's good before break that they get some sort of competition in and kind of see, one, where they're at, you know, and the work that they put in, and, you know, and how much it's paying off. So hopefully that motivates them through the break, you know, to make sure they're staying in shape and getting their stuff done. And then I think the next big one, well, we've got Grinnell, and then we're going to go to, but right before conference, we're going to go to where the conference host site is at Northwest Missouri State. That will be a big meet because that'll be a lot of conference schools there. It'll get a chance for our kids to kind of see where they fit in.
Sure.
And there'll be some a lot of D2 schools there as well. But
yeah, definitely. obviously we're looking way ahead to the outdoor season, and obviously that schedule is still up in the air a little bit, but anything that you're looking forward to, again, since we're getting back to a bit of a post-COVID schedule and getting back to some normalcy in the size of the meets, but anything you're looking forward to there?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we're hosting conference. I think that I'm looking forward to that. It's a lot of work, but I think it's important for our kids to have a chance to be at home, and it's the way the calendar sets up and the way we do things is, we always have graduation on the day of conference. Well, that is not a big a factor for us now, where we're not going to miss a lot of kids. We'll still have our whole team be able to compete, and that'll help us tremendously, because outdoor conferences usually we go in pretty short-handed. But, it's the nature of the beast. We understand it, and we just have to overcome. I think the kids, and then we're hosting a home meet in April that has the decathlon and heptathlon in it. I think that'll be interesting. I think it's a good time because it's 2 weeks before conference, so we're hoping to get some conference schools here. So I think we already have 6-7 schools already signed up, so pretty excited about that. And then kind of see, we want to take some kids to Drake relays. We haven't done that in a long time. We haven't had a great relationship with them, or I haven't, I should say, not the team, but I haven't. But I think there's some new things going on over there in the coaching staff that we're going to try and try to get some of our kids in for the Drake relays. I think that's good for us and for our Iowa kids, for something to shoot for.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I think we'll probably end up going to Grandview as one of our first meets, and after that, just kind of finding out where we want to go and what we can do.
Right, for sure. All right, let's talk about expectations for this year. Again, a lot of national qualifiers back, a lot of conference champions, conference placers. What are the expectations for this year's team?
Well, my expectations for the team is that they need to stay healthy. They put in a lot of hard work, and they need to be taking care of their bodies, and both on and off the track. So when it comes to the conference, the meet that counts the most at nationals, that we're healthy, and we don't leave points out on the track because we haven't done the correct things before that. That's my expectations for the team, and harp on it all the time. But it's something that they've got to do, and they've got to understand. And I think this group is starting to understand how important all of that is, because I think for the most part, most of them are really doing a good job in the training room.
Yeah, good deal. That kind of leads right into the keys to success, and you kind of answered it. I mean, if everybody stays healthy, this team's got a lot of potential, a lot of points that are going to be available at the end of the year.
At the end of the year, there is a lot of potential, but again, it's not. It's a little different than most, where you go by records and stuff like that, and it all comes down to, for us, for a championship, 1 meet, 2 days.
Yeah,
we got to put it all out on the line. So
for sure. All right, Coach. Well, best of luck this season. Again, track and field team will start in Davenport this Saturday at the St. Ambrose Frigid Bee Classic. Won it several times over in Davenport this indoor season. So best of luck, Coach. Hopefully we'll get some qualifiers right out of the gate and keep.
That'd be the best case